Voila, and welcome to ProSpanish. In today's video, you'll get a chance to experience for yourself just how quickly you can learn Spanish. On the screen now are just some of the sentences you'll be able to say by the end of the lesson. These include past, present, future, and questions. And if our more advanced subscribers want to dive straight into some fluency work on may and might in Spanish, you can skip forward to the time frame that comes up on the screen now, or stay with us for the extra practice. Okay, so I always find it useful to start off with the verbs. That's the backbone of any sentence. And if you just cast your eye down this list here, we've got visitar a Dani, invitar a Paula, saludar a Maria, llamar a Carmen. You'll notice that every verb, every to-do word there is followed by the letter A. And we don't need to go into much grammar here, but suffice to say that if you have a verb followed by a person, so to visit someone, to call someone, to help someone, that verb will be followed by the letter A. Now you don't need to try to commit that to memory at all. I'm just pointing it out. And by practicing the patterns, it will just come to you automatically. Okay, so let's just go through. It's fairly easy to remember vocabulary, this. Visitar, you can see the letter V is pronounced as a B. Visitar, visitar a Dani, to visit Dani. Invitar a Paula, to invite Paula. Saludar a Maria. This is a nice one. So saludar, a bit like to salute, if that's a way that might help you to remember. Saludar a Maria, to salute Maria. But we would say to say hello to Maria, or the proper translation might be to greet Maria. But we would say to say hi to Maria, to say hello to Maria. Llamar a Carmen, llamar, to call. And notice the double L is always pronounced like a y in Spanish. Llamar a Carmen. Recoger a Pablo. So recoger is to pick up. Recoger a Pablo, to pick up Pablo. I'm thinking of it from the station, for example. That's the kind of pickup we're talking about. Esperar a Maria. Esperar is to wait. Perhaps a little bit more literally it means to await, but we wouldn't say that. We would say to wait for. But we haven't got the word for in there, which means it kind of works out a bit more like to await Maria. Esperar a Maria, to await Maria or to wait for Maria. Ayudar is to help. So ayudar a Carla, to help Carla. We've gone through those quite quickly. Don't worry about trying to remember it now. That will come in a minute. Okay, next column, we'll have a few little time phrases. So ahora is now. Ahora. The word hora is hour, like 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. Ahora is now, this hour. Hoy is today. Hoy. Después means after. Después del trabajo, after work. And the opposite of después is antes. Antes del trabajo, before work. Antes del trabajo, before work. So just using those two columns. How would you say to visit Dani today? What would that be, to visit Dani today? Visitar a Dani hoy. Visitar a Dani hoy. To visit Dani today. And make sure, when I ask a question, just make sure that you pause the video if you need some extra thinking time. Okay, let's try another one. How would you say call Carmen after work. Llamar a Carmen después del trabajo. Llamar a Carmen después del trabajo. And we'll go to the start of our sentences. So we're going to be able to use the present, the future, and the past. And we're going to be able to ask questions as well. So quiero is I want. Quiero, I want. You want or do you want is quieres. Just es at the end instead of an o. So quieres. Voy a, I'm going to. Voy a. And are you going to? The question, vas a, vas a. And then finally we've got the past, I decided, decidí. Decidí. Okay, to get familiar with this language, we're just going to build up some sentences working our way across. So first of all, how would you say I'm going to? Voy a. What would it be for I'm going to invite Paula? Voy a invitar a Paula. How would you say I'm going to invite Paula today? Voy a invitar a Paula hoy. Voy a invitar a Paula hoy. How about I want? What's that? Quiero. Quiero. Just say all the letters. Quiero. I want. I want to say hi, or I want to say hello to Maria. Quiero saludar a Maria. I want to say hi to Maria after work. Quiero saludar a María después del trabajo. Quiero saludar a María después del trabajo. Okay, now in this next phase, just listen to the phrases, look across the table, and just try to work out what's being said. Okay, so our first one is this. Decidí ayudar a Carla antes del trabajo. Decidí ayudar a Carla antes del trabajo. I decided to help Carla before work. How about this one? ¿Quieres recoger a Pablo ahora? ¿Quieres recoger a Pablo ahora? Do you want to pick up Pablo now? How about voy a esperar a María después del trabajo. Voy a esperar a María después del trabajo. I'm going to wait for Maria after work. What about this one? ¿Vas a visitar a Dani hoy? ¿Vas a visitar a Dani hoy? Are you going to visit Dani today? Okay, we'll switch around now. You'll do the speaking. So listen, pause the video to give yourself some thinking time and work out the phrase before you hear it from me. So, how would you say, I'm going to call Carmen before work? Voy a llamar a Carmen antes del trabajo. Voy a llamar a Carmen antes del trabajo. Let's try a past one. How would you say, I decided to pick up Pablo after work? Decidí recoger a Pablo después del trabajo. Decidí recoger a Pablo después del trabajo. How would you ask, do you want to invite Paula today? ¿Quieres invitar a Paula hoy? ¿Quieres invitar a Paula hoy? And how would you say, I'm going to say hello to Maria after work. Voy a saludar a María después del trabajo. Voy a saludar a María después del trabajo. So you can already see how quickly you can learn with this kind of approach, but I'm going to show you now how important sequencing is to making even faster progress. I'll just take a quick pause there while I mention our very popular Levels 1 to 6 course. This takes the complete beginner or near beginner right up to a conversational level of Spanish in a series of very easy to follow steps. So any of my videos that can be found on YouTube are supplementary or standalone videos, whereas the main Levels 1 to 6 course is not available anywhere else. It's not available on YouTube, and this is very much a step-by-step program, all still delivered by the same teacher, by myself. And while the style is very similar to what you've been used to from the videos on this channel, the key difference is that every lesson builds carefully on the previous lessons so that you can feel the progress of going from very little or no Spanish up to a level where you can confidently hold a conversation in Spanish. And to get you to conversational fluency even quicker than before, I've added a unique innovation to the site. With this boost system, you can go back over the lesson content. You can check the key structures you've learned, practice listening, test your pronunciation, and massively speed up your fluency.
Quiero hacerlo hoy.
That's available exclusively from prospanish.co.uk. And back to our lesson. So if we look at what we've learned in terms of the verbs, so to visit Danny, to invite Paula, to help Carla, etc. To change these words from to do something, to visit, to invite, to we do it, is a very simple step. Take off the last letter, the R, and add mos, M-O-S, and that's it. So if we want to say we visit, we've got to visit, let's take the R off and add mos, and we've got visitamos, we visit. Visitamos a Dani, we visit Dani. We wait for Maria. Take off the R and add mos. Esperamos a María. Esperamos a María. we say hi to Marta. Take off the R and add mos. Saludamos a Marta. Okay, so how would you say we pick up Pablo? Recogemos a Pablo. Recogemos a Pablo. How would you say we pick up Pablo before work? Recogemos a Pablo antes del trabajo. How would you say we wait for Maria? Esperamos a María. We wait for Maria. So you've suddenly hugely increased what you're able to say with one tiny extra sequence. And there's this very neat little phrase, ¿Qué tal si? ¿Qué tal si? Is literally, how about if? So, how about if we visit Pablo now? Or how about if we pick up Maria before work? Now we probably would miss out the if. I'm just saying it so that you can see that it's ¿Qué tal si? Si is if. So you can see how the structure works. We might say, how about waiting for Maria? Instead of how about if we wait for Maria? But it doesn't matter as long as you get the structure. So, ¿Qué tal si? Plus the we verb is how about we do this? So what do you think this would mean if I said, ¿Qué tal si ayudamos a Carla antes del trabajo? ¿Qué tal si ayudamos a Carla antes del trabajo? So that would be, how about we help Carla before work? Or how about helping Carla before work? What about if I said, ¿Qué tal si llamamos a Carmen hoy? ¿Qué tal si llamamos a Carmen hoy? How about we call Carmen today? Or how about calling Carmen today? So your turn now. How would you say, how about we pick up Pablo after work? ¿Qué tal si recogemos a Pablo después del trabajo? ¿Qué tal si recogemos a Pablo después del trabajo? And how would you say, and we'll miss out the time phrase now, how about we invite Paula? What would that be? ¿Qué tal si invitamos a Paula? ¿Qué tal si invitamos a Paula? How about we say hi to Marta? ¿Qué tal si saludamos a Marta? ¿Qué tal si saludamos a Marta? So you should have seen over the last 15 to 20 minutes just how quickly you can make progress in Spanish and become conversationally fluent in Spanish. And so before we move on to the part of the lesson for our more advanced subscribers, another quick reminder that the Levels 1 to 6 course is available exclusively from prospanish.co.uk. And on to the more advanced part of our lesson. If we focus first of all on the verbs, the we verbs, notice the difference from what we had before. Before we had visitamos. Now we have visitemos. Before we had recogemos a Pablo. Now we've got recojamos a Pablo. So all this has changed to subjunctive we. And the reason for that is that we're going to say we might visit Danny, or we might not call Carmen. So in terms of getting to the we subjunctive, you can see it's really nice and easy. It's just been swapped. So the verbs that previously had amos have now got hemos, and the ones that had hemos have now got amos. So just a switch around to get to the subjunctive. And let's look at our first column. So to say the phrase we might, we're going to say puede que plus the we subjunctive. Puede que. Sounds a bit strange if we translate it literally, because it can that we visit Danny. Maybe you could think of it as it's possible that. But more commonly, we might or we may. So puede que and puede que no. Okay, start by listening and just getting familiar with the language. What does this mean? Puede que llamemos a Carmen después del trabajo. Puede que llamemos a Carmen después del trabajo. We may call Carmen after work. Puede que recojamos a Pablo antes del trabajo. Puede que recojamos a Pablo antes del trabajo. So we might pick up Pablo before work. Puede que no invitemos a Paula. Puede que no invitemos a Paula. We might not invite Paula. Puede que no saludemos a Marta. Puede que no saludemos a Marta. We might not say hello to Marta. Okay, you try the speaking now. How would you say, we might visit Danny after work? Puede que visitemos a Danny después del trabajo. Puede que visitemos a Danny después del trabajo. How about, we might not invite Paula. Let's just add in something different that's not on here. Let's say al final, in the end. So we might not invite Paula in the end. What would that be? Puede que no invitemos a Paula al final. Puede que no invitemos a Paula al final. Or we might say the al final at the beginning. Al final, puede que no invitemos a Paula. In the end, we might not invite Paula. How about, we might wait for Maria before work. Puede que esperemos a María antes del trabajo. Puede que esperemos a María antes del trabajo. How about, in the end, we might not pick up Pablo. Al final, puede que no recojamos a Pablo. Al final, puede que no recojamos a Pablo. Let's try a verb that's not here. Let's use cenar. Cenar is to have dinner. And let's say cenar con María, to have dinner with Maria. So how would we say, we might have dinner with Maria today? What would that be? Puede que cenemos con María hoy. Puede que cenemos con María hoy. So, indicative, normal we would be cenamos, but flip it to the other one because it's subjunctive. Cenemos. Puede que cenemos. And that concludes today's ProSpanish lesson. As mentioned earlier, if you're looking to become a confident and a competent speaker of Spanish, head over to prospanish.co.uk.